Okay, so gonna do a little recording, and I'm gonna test on my thing. I've already started doing my gonna blah, 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 blah. Talking fails me at this moment. I've already done the whispering part. So this is the this is for the Lord of the Rings section of the spoof bit. So I thought I'd record myself doing it. So this is the early whispering, which is I am an Pristaline, I am a Pristaline, Hanmathonen, Hamathonesh, and it's kind of like a rolling tongue, like Hamathonechai, and then Hanostonet. So you can hear that here. You go, I am a Pristaline, Hanmathonen, Hamathonechai, Hanostonet, Hanoston. Lilith. It's that little. You can hear it here. You can hear it.
Yeah. The world is changed. I feel it in the water. I feel it in the earth. I smell it in the air.
Okay,
Much
so yeah.
Once was.
So I need to now do our Galadriel's bit. So the world has changed. I'm going to kind of give that salt again. The world has changed. So yeah.
The world is changed.
The world is changed. The world is changed. So we're going to go back to here. And we're going to save this. Because I want to make sure. Because I've been having some crashes lately. What am I doing? Where am I saving this? Projects. My file system is a mess. Lord of the Rings overdubs. So where was I? Okay, so.
The world is changed.
The world is changed. The world is changed. Yeah, it's not that bad, double do. The world is changed. The world is changed. I might emphasize the. It's a softer the, isn't it?
The world.
Yeah, it's definitely a softer the. So get rid of that. The world is changed. The world is changed. The world is. I'm over enunciating the.
The world is changed.
The world is changed. The world is changed. Emphasize the world. The world is changed. The world is changed. Yeah, that's better. The world is changed. Yeah, the world is changed. Whoops. Don't loop.
The world is changed.
Yeah, that works out nicer. What am I doing? Don't get off Discord, you prick. I feel it in the basis, so I feel... Okay.
I feel it in the water.
I feel it in the water. I feel it in the bases. I feel it in the bases.
I feel it in the...
Emphasis the I.
I feel it in...
It's like kind of lingering kind of... I feel it.
I feel it in...
It's almost Shatner-esque. I feel it in the bases. I feel it in the bases. Try not to be too tuneful with it, more soulful. I feel it in the bases.
The world is changed.
I feel it in the water. I feel it in the water. I feel it in the bases. Yeah. I feel it in the bases. Sounds of it, I'm not quite happy. I feel it in the bases. I feel it in the bases. It's cheesy enough to work. Okay, next line is... I feel it in the voyage score.
I feel it in the earth.
I feel it in the voyage score. Almost very much sultry, that bit. I feel it in the voyage score. I feel it in the voyage score. I feel it in the voyage score. Sound about right?
I feel it in the earth.
Stracofoot. I feel it in the voyage score. Yeah, that's close enough.
I smell it in the air.
So I smell it, and then a pause in the air, and then my line is, I smell it on the artwork. In the air, on the artwork. I smell it
in the air.
I smell it on the artwork. I smell it. I smell it. Too early. I smell it
in the air.
on the art. I smell it on the artwork. I smell it on the artwork. I smell it on the artwork. Yeah, that'll work. The world is changed. I feel it in the bases. I feel it in the voyage score. I'll probably tweak that. I smell it on the artwork. This is quite stupid. Okay. Much that was once water break. Munch. I keep saying munch. Much that was. Much that once was. Much that once was. Much that once was is lost. For none now. Much that once was is lost. For none now live who remember it. Something along those lines, anyway. Where are we?
Much that once was is lost. Much that once was is lost.
Much that once was is lost. Okay. Much that once was is lost. Much that once was is lost. I think it's a bit too much of a break. Much that once was. A bit too happy. Much that once was is lost. Don't want to whisper that bit, I want to talk it.
Much that once was.
It's kind of almost like an authoritarian telling you, much that once was is lost.
Much that once was is lost.
Much that once was. Much that once was is lost. Much that once was is lost. Yeah, that works out nicely. Get off Discord. Where are we? For none now live who remember it.
Is lost.
For none now live who remember it. 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 Okay. For none now live who remember it. Okay, I'm happy with that.
I smell it in the air.
Okay, so
For none now live.
Much that once was. There's almost a cadence. None now. For none now live. Yeah. Who remember it. There's almost like a beat for none now live. It's like, you know, there's a very kind of 1, 2, 3 for none now live. Who remember it. Okay. Right. Okay, gotta stop doing that. Okay. Let's have a wee little look-ski here. What's the next part? It began with the forging of the great book. So yeah, cue intro title, blah blah blah. So here.
It began with the forging of the great rings.
It began with the forging of the great book. It began with the forging of the great book. So it's the start of a story. It's very much like a. It began once upon a time. It began with, but in much more sultry.
It began with the forging of the great rings.
Of the great rings. It began with the forging of the great book. With the great book.
It began with the forging of the great rings.
The great book.
It began with the forging of the great rings.
It began with the forging of the great book. Yeah. It began with the forging of the great book. I need to emphasize that great. It began with the forging of the great book. Great book. Enunciate your T's. It began with the forging of the great book. It began with the forging of the great book. It began with the forging of the great book. Yeah, okay. It began with the forging of the great book. Listen to her enunciation of that last bit.
Of the great rings.
The great rings go up at the end. It began with the forging. It began with the forging. It began with the forging of the great book. It began with the No, I'm too internet. Began, ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba-ba. It needs to be. It began with the forging. It began with the forging of the great book. It began with the forging of the great book. Yeah, I'm happy with that. That's nicer.
Began with the forging of the great rings.
See, she goes a bit higher, but I think I'm going to stick to... It began with the forging. It began with the forging of the great book. Yeah, no, maybe I can do that better. It began with the forging of the great book. It began with the forging of the great book. That's exactly what I did the first time. It began with the forging of the great book. Okay, we'll stick with that. Apparently it suits my voice better.
3 were given to the elves, immortal, wisest and fairest of all beings.
3? Okay, 3 were... So I'm going to move my notes over here so I can see them. 3 tears were given to the voyagers, immortal, wisest, fairest of all beings. No. Let's listen to that again.
Began with the
forging of the great book. Hang on.
3 were given to the elves.
So my version is 3 tears were given to the voyagers immortal. 3 tears were given to the voyagers immortal. So I've got to be 3 tears. The great book. 3 tears were given to the voyagers immortal. I suppose I can linger that on a little bit. Because I've got a longer sentence to say, so I can string that on a bit. So
3 were given to the elves, immortal, wisest and fairest of all beings.
Of all beings. 3 tears were given to the voyagers. Voyagers. 3 tears were given to the voyagers. Immortal, wisest and fairest of beings. Fairest of all beings.
Wisest and fairest of all beings.
Of all beings, enunciate the all. 3. Okay, let's just record that. 3 tears were given to the voyagers. Immortal, wisest, fairest of all beings. If I'm happy with that. 3 tears were given to the voyagers. Immortal, wisest, fairest of all beings. Immortal, wisest. Immortal. Listen to that.
Immortal, wisest and fairest.
Immortal, wisest and fairest of all beings. Immortal, wisest and fairest of all beings. Of all beings. Immortal, wisest, fairest of all beings. And fairest of all beings, or just fairest of all beings?
Wisest and fairest of all beings.
And fairest of all beings. Right. So, immortal, wisest, and fairest of all beings. Of all beings, hey! Immortal, wisest, and okay. Immortal, wisest, and fairest of all beings. 3 tears were given to the voyagers. Immortal, wisest, and fairest of all beings. Of all beings. Yeah.
Wisest and fairest of all beings.
Okay, she enunciates it.
7 to the dwarf lords.
7 to the dwarf lords. 7 to the wharf lords, it should be, really. 7 to the event crew. 7 to the event crew. Let's just do that. 7 to the event crew.
7 to the dwarf lords.
To the event crew. Yeah, I need to go. 7 to the event crew. 7 to the event crew. Yeah. 7 to the event crew. Okay, cool. Great miners and craftsmen of the cryostasis vault.
Great miners and craftsmen of the mountain halls.
Great miners and craftsmen.
Great miners and craftsmen of the mountain halls.
So, great miners and craftsmen of the mountain... Yeah. Great miners and craftsmen of the cryostasis vault. Great miners, yeah. Great miners and craftsmen of the cryostasis vault. Great miners and craftsmen of the cryostasis vault. Great miners and... No. No. Great miners. No, what are you doing? Great miners. Look at all this fucking patchy shit. I need to save that. Oh, save. Should I save? Save. Thank you. Great miners and craftsmen. Ugh. I've got a lot of this to do tonight. Great miners. Yeah, great miners. Great miners and craftsmen of the cryostasis vault. Great miners and craftsmen of the cryostasis vault. That might work, actually.
7 to the dwarf lords, great miners and craftsmen of the mountain halls.
I think I did it a bit faster, but that's okay because I've got to squish it in a smaller space. And that's what she said. And 9. 9 tears were gifted to the race of dwarves who, above all else, desire power.
And 9.
Oh!
9 rings were...
Yes, that's where my rendering's coming in.
And 9.
And 9.
And 9. 9 rings were gifted...
And 9. 9 rings. And 9. 9 tears were gifted to the race of dwarves. Oops.
And 9. 9 rings were gifted to the race of men, who were...
And 9. And 9. And 9. 9 tears were gifted to the race of wolves. And 9. 9 tears were gifted to the race of wolves. And 9. 9 tears... 9? Just said 9.
And 9.
And 9. 9. 9. And 9. I need to do it very formal. 9. I need to be like American saying English. 9. And 9. And 9. Why do I say it? 9. 9. And 9. Yeah. 9. Not 9. 9. And 9. 9 tears were gifted to the race of wolves. Race of wolves. Race of wolves.
And 9.
And 9.
9 rings were gifted to the race of men.
I'm struggling on this one, aren't I? And 9. And 9. 9 tears were gifted to the race of wolves. And 9. 9 tears were gifted to the race of wolves. Who above all else...
Who above all else desire power.
Oh, that's very nice. Power.
Who above all else
Who above all else
desire power.
desire power. And above all else, dwarves. Who? Is it a who above all else? There's a who in there somewhere I missed.
Race of men, who above all else
Who above all else, okay. Who above all else to the race of dwarves. Who above all else. Who above all else desire power. Ooh, yeah. Who above all else desire power. Keeping that. That's dumb. I'm getting another drink in a minute. Okay. Let's move on to the next bit. For within these rings was bound the strength and will to govern each voyage. Okay. Flickering on. Save that as well.
desire power. For within these rings was bound the strength and will to govern each race. For within these rings was bound the strength. For within these rings was bound the strength and will to govern each race.
For within these rings was bound the strength and will to govern each voyage. Each voyage.
For within these rings was bound the strength and will to govern each race. For within these rings was bound the strength and will to govern each race.
Each voyage, each voyage, each voyage. God, full stop that. Each voyage. Let's record it if I'm going to practice it. Oh, no. That. There we go. For within these rings was bound the strength and will to govern each voyage. Not too bad. For within these rings was bound the strength and will to govern each voyage. Sounds not too bad.
For within these rings was bound the strength and will to govern each race.
For within these rings, what did I say? For these rings, I don't really say rings. For within these tiers, I'm saying the wrong fucking thing. For within these tiers was bound the strength, For within these tiers was bound the strength and will to govern each voyage. Oh, no, that's very Shanna. To govern each voyage. For within these tiers was bound the strength and will to govern each voyage. For within these tiers was bound the strength and will to govern each voyage. But they were all of them deceived. Right, okay. Stop doing that with your tongue, you twat. What am I doing? I want to listen to the thing. There we go.
But they were all of them deceived.
But they were all of them deceived. But they were all of them deceived. But they were all of them deceived. I like that. That's not bad.
They were all of them deceived. For another ring was made.
For another tiering system was made. Another tiering system? I don't know if I like that. For another book was made. I think book. The Great Book. 3 tiers. Did I say Great Book or Great Books? Oh, the Great Book. Yeah. Okay. Oh, no, yeah, the Great Book, 3 tiers. Okay, so... For another tiering system was made. For another... I think another book was made. For another book was made. Yeah.
For another ring was made.
Yeah, book's shorter. Nicer. For another book was made. For another book was made. Okay. For another book was made. But they were all of them deceived. For another book was made. Ooh la la. In the land of Google, in the fires of Mount Sheets, the Dark Lord Automaton forged in secret a big book to control all others.
For another ring was made.
made.
In the land of Mordor.
In the land of Sheets.
In the land of Mordor.
Sheets.
In the fires of Mount Doom.
In the land of Google. 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 In the fire. No, don't rush it.
Land of Mordor. In the fires of Mount Doom. In the land of Mordor. In the fires of Mount Doom.
In Mount Doom. In the fires of. In the land of Google. In the fire. In the land of Google. In the fire. I just want to go up and down. What does she do?
In the land of Mordor. In the fires of Mount.
In the land of Mordor. In the fires of. In the land of Google. In the fires of Mount Sheets.
In the land of Mordor. In the fires of Mount Sheets.
In the land of Google, in the fires of Mount Sheets. Ooh, spiking a bit there. Fires of Mount Sheets. We can work on that. Can edit that out. Where am I? The Dark Lord Automaton.
In the land of Mordor, in the fires of Mount Doom, the Dark Lord Sauron forged in secret a master ring. The Dark Lord Sauron forged in secret a Mount.
So, the Dark Lord Automaton forged in secret a big book to control all others. So, hang on.
Doom. The Dark Lord Sauron forged in secret a master ring to control.
A master book. The Dark Lord Automaton forged in secret a master ring. A master book. A big book. A big book. A big boy. In the land of Google, in the fires of Mount Shisa, the Dark Lord Automaton forged in secret a master book. A big book. A master book. I think a master book. A master book. I'm going to go there because I don't trust myself. The Dark Lord Automaton forged in secret a master book to control all others. I might have rushed that last bit.
Control all others.
Yeah, I did. Let's just go back to here. Book. The Dark Lord Automaton forged in secret a master book. And then delete that. Book. Yeah, that's gonna... Well, reverb will cover that up.
Forged in secret a master ring to control all others.
To control all others. To control all others. Yeah. To control all others. Okay. Oh my word, I've got so much to read. Fuck me. Okay. Why did I say I was going to do this? Who did I say I'll do this for? Right, okay. And into this book he pours his hyperlinks, his dad jokes, and his will to dominate all crew discourse. I love that. Thank you, stars, for that. That's amazing.
And into this ring he And into this ring he poured his cruelty, his malice, and his...
So I need to slow down for this one. And into this ring...
And into this ring he poured his cruelty, his malice, and his will to dominate all life.
So let's take this step by step.
And into this ring...
And into this book... And into this book... I'm going to go a bit lower on that for me. And into this book... And into this book... And into this book... He poured...
He poured his cruelty, his malice, and his will to dominate all life.
He poured his hyperlinks, his dad jokes, and his will to dominate all crew discourse. Oh, I should have recorded that. Oh, piss off Discord. Right, there we go. He poured his hyperlinks. He poured his hyperlinks, his dad jokes, and his will to dominate all crew discourse. He poured his hyperlinks, his dad jokes, and his will to dominate all crew discourse. Might have over-accentuated the all there.
And his will to dominate all life.
Yeah, will to dominate, and his will to dominate all life. I'm happy with that. And his will to dominate all crew discourse. All crew discourse. Now, I'm going to try that one again. He poured his hyperlink. Yeah, I'm going to try that one again. He poured his hyperlinks, his dad jokes, and his will to dominate all crew discourse. Yeah, that's better. He poured his hyperlinks, his dad jokes, and his will to dominate all crew discourse. One book to rule them all. Something like that.
And his will to dominate. One ring to rule them all. One
book
ring
to rule them all. Yeah, one book to rule them all. One book to rule them all. One book to rule them all. Book. Ring is much nicer to say. Book. One ring and one book to rule them all. One by one, the free lands of Star Trek timelines fell to the power of the big book. Oh yeah, I'm listening to what she says.
One ring to rule them all. One by one. The free lands of
So, one by one.
The free lands of Middle Earth fell to the power of the ring. One by one. The free lands of Middle Earth fell to the power. One by one.
The
free lands of Middle Earth fell to the power of the ring.
Fell to the power of the ring. Da 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 da.
One by one.
The free lands of Middle Earth fell to the power of the ring. Ooh, I like that.
One by one,
the free lands of Middle-earth fell to the power of the ring. One by one, the free lands of Star Trek timelines fell to the power of the big book. Let's do that. One by one, the free lands of Star Trek timelines to the power. Yeah, I'm going to have to extend that a bit. Well, I'm going to remove Star Trek of that. One by one, the free lands of timelines fell to the power of the big book. Fell to the power of the book. Fell to the power of the book. One by one, the free lands of timelines fell to the power of the book. Yeah, let's try that. One by one, the free lands of timelines fell to the power of the book.
One by one, the free lands of timelines fell to the power of the ring.
I've got a little bit of gap in there, but I can get that, so... One by one, the free lands of timelines fell to the power of the book. Oh, Christ. One by one, the free lands of timelines fell to the power of the book. But there were some who resisted.
But there were some who resisted.
But there were some who resisted. That's not bad. But there were some who resisted. Ooh, a little intonation there. Did I get that right?
But there were some who resisted.
Yeah, a little accentuation at the end there. But there were some who resisted. Yeah, that's alright. I'm quite happy with that. That's not bad.
A last alliance of men and elves marched.
A last alliance of men. A last alliance of men's and... okay, okay.
A last alliance of...
I'm just going to change my workspace to single screen because... Oh, shit. Why do I always do that? Crap. Dual screen. No, I don't want a full screen timeline. Dual screen off because I want to see my notes. That's better. Sugar. Right, okay. Where the hell am I? I'm over here. Right. What's happened to the rest of the audio? Oh, right, it's there. Oh, I see. Right, yep. Okay.
A last alliance who resisted. A last alliance of men and elves marched against the armies of Mordor.
A last alliance.
A last alliance.
A last alliance.
A last alliance of men and elves.
A last alliance of men and elves marched against the armies of automaton.
Men and elves marched against the armies of Mordor.
Yeah.
A last alliance of men and elves.
Yeah, and elves.
A last alliance of men and elves marched against the...
Yeah, okay, cool. A last alliance of men and... A last alliance. Go away, come on. A last alliance of men and elves marched against the armies of automaton. A last alliance of men and elves marched against the armies of automaton.
A last alliance of men.
A last alliance. A last alliance. A last alliance of men and elves marched against the armies of automaton. It'll do. Let's not finick over the details on this one. Honestly.
And elves marched against the armies of Mordor, and on the slopes of Mount Doom they fought.
And on
armies of Mordor, and on the slopes of Mount Doom they fought for the freedom.
Okay, so and on the slopes of Mount Sheets
they fought for the freedom
of Middle Earth, for the freedom of timelines. And on the slopes of Mount Sheets, they fought...
Mordor, and on the slopes of Mount Doom.
And on the slopes of Mount Sheets... Let's just do that. And on the slopes of Mount Sheets... Mount Sheets... Mount Sheets... And on the slopes of Mount Sheets... is that quick?
Mordor, and And on the slopes of Mount Doom.
Yeah, no, that's fine, I think. And on the slopes of Mount Sheets. Could have to do so much DS. Do so much DSing on this. They fought for the free. No.
They fought. They fought for the freedom
of timelines. They fought for the freedom of timelines. They fought for the. They fought. Emphasize the fought. They fought for the freedom of timelines. They fought for the freedom of timelines. Lots of f's and sh on this I'm hearing. Okay, what's next?
And on the slopes of Mount Doom, they fought for the freedom of Middle-earth.
And on the slopes of Mount Sheets, they fought for the freedom of timelines. Oh, now next to... How are we? God, so much to do. There's so much dialogue in this. I'm not surprised. Where are we? So...
Victory was near.
Sorry, that's so loud. Victory was near. Victory was near. Is that? Sorry, this is going to be loud.
Victory was near.
Victory was near. Victory was near. That's not bad, actually. The power of the big book could not be undone. Yeah.
But the power of the ring.
But the power of the book.
But the power of the ring could not be undone.
But the power of the book could not be undone.
But the power of the ring.
But the power of the book.
But the power of the ring.
Yeah, slightly up.
But the power of the book.
But the power of the book. But the power of the book could not be undone.
Could not be undone.
Could not be undone. She can't do that. Could not be undone. I say could not be undone. Could not be undone. But the power of the book could not be undone. Yeah, undone, not undone. 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 Hello, undone.
Could not be undone.
Okay, let me head back to here.
It was in this moment, when all hope had faded. It was in this moment, when all hope had faded.
When all hope had...
It was in this moment,
when all hope had faded.
It was in this moment.
It was in this moment,
when all hope had faded.
It was in this moment. It was in this moment when all hope had faded. Too long on that last had faded?
All hope had faded.
When all hope had faded. I'll allow that. That Stasgartes, son of the king, took up his father's sword.
That Isildur, son of the king.
That Stasgartes, son of the king.
That Isildur, son of the king, took up his father's sword.
That let's record it if you're going to do it. That Stasgartes, son of the king, took up his father's sword. Ooh, that might not be bad. That Stasgartes, son of the king, took up his father's sword.
That Isildur, son of the king, took up his father's sword.
Oh, that's not bad, actually. Oops. Oh, come on. That Stasgartes, son of the king, took up his father's sword.
Sauron, the enemy of the free peoples of Middle-earth, was defeated.
Automaton, the enemy of the free peoples of timelines, was defeated.
Sauron,
Automaton,
the enemy of the free peoples of
the enemy.
Sauron, the enemy of the free peoples of Middle-earth.
The enemy of the free peoples. Very Shatner-esque. It's theatrical, isn't it? Automaton, Automaton, the enemy of the free peoples of timelines, was defeated.
Peoples of Middle-earth was defeated.
Was defeated. Let's just try and record. Was defeated. Automaton. Nah, it's too soft. Automaton. Automaton. Automaton, the enemy of the free peoples of timelines, was defeated.
Sauron, the enemy of the free peoples of Middle-earth, was defeated.
Maybe. Was defeated. Was defeated. Was defeated. Was defeated. Was defeated. Was defeated. I prefer to give it a bit of finality to that.
Was defeated.
Was defeated. Was defeated. Was defeated. Yeah, because I wanted to get a bit more finality onto my own voice. Was defeated. Yeah, that's a bit better. Of timelines. Was defeated. I need some more drink. Okay. The book passed to Stars, who had this one chance to destroy evil forever. It's got a page of stuff to read. Right, where am I?
By evil.
Oh, here we go.
The ring passed to Isildur, who had this one chance to destroy.
Oh, where are we? There.
The ring passed to Isildur.
The book passed to Stars.
The ring passed to Isildur, who had this one chance to destroy evil. The
ring passed to Stars and Garters.
who had this one.
I think to Stars and Garters, yeah. The ring passed to Stars, who had this one chance. Who had this one chance. No, just not rush it.
The ring passed to Isildur.
The book passed to Stars and Garters. The book passed to Stars and Garters. The book passed to Stars and Garters, who had this passed to.
Who had this one chance to destroy evil forever.
Who had this one chance to.
Who had this one chance to destroy evil forever. Who had this one.
So it's emphasis on the one. Who had this one chance to destroy evil forever. Who had this one chance to destroy evil forever. Who had this one chance to destroy evil forever. Book passed to Stars and Garters. Who had this one chance to destroy evil forever. I don't have to get it precise, but let's just.
But the hearts of men are easily corrupted.
But the hearts of war fans are easily corrupted.
Forever. But the hearts of
war fans are
easily corrupted. But the hearts of men.
Okay. But the hearts of war aficionados are easily. No, not aficionados, fans. I appreciate that as a long, nice word, but fans, it needs to fit in a smaller gap. But the hearts of war. Okay.
But the hearts of men.
But the hearts of war fans are easily corrupted.
But the hearts of men are easily corrupted.
But the hearts of war fans. But the hearts of war fans are easily corrupted. The Bigger Book of Behold device has a will of its own.
And the Ring of Power has a will of its own.
And the Big Book of Beholds has a will of its own.
And the Ring of Power.
And the Big Book of Beholds. And the Big Book
And the
big
ring of
book
power
of beholds
has a will of its
It's gonna be too quick.
And the ring
big
of
book.
power.
Yeah, big book. Otherwise, it's gonna be too quick. And the big book.
And the
the
ring
big
of
book
power has a will of its own.
And the big book. And the big book has a will of its own. And the big book has a will of its own. It betrayed Automaton to his death.
It betrayed Isildur
Sorry.
to his death.
It betrayed Stars to his death. Sorry.
Betrayed is. It betrayed Isildur.
It betrayed Stars. It betrayed Stars. Betrayed Stars.
Isildur. It betrayed Isildur.
It betrayed Stars. Yeah, it needs to be like that. It betrayed Stars. Yeah. It betrayed Stars. To his death.
Death.
Sorry.
To his death.
To his death. To his death. Breathing. To his death. To his death. A little less breathy. To his death. To his death. Could I elongate that? Do I need to?
To his death.
To his death. Yeah, I need to accentuate that a little bit. To his death. Yeah, that's better. To his death. Yeah. It's a fun evening I'm having here. How much have I done? Loads. Right, We're getting there. Getting there. And some things that should not have been lost were forgotten. Okay.
And some things. And some things that should not have been forgotten. And some things that should not have been forgotten were lost.
And some things that should not have been forgotten
were lost.
And some things that should... yeah, let's record that. Get my vocals up. And some things that should not have been forgotten were lost. Were lost. Was that were lost?
And some things that should not have been forgotten were lost.
Were lost. Were lost. Were lost. Were lost. Were lost. Were lost. And some things that should not have been forgotten were lost. History became myth. Legend became... No. History became legend. Legend became myth.
History became legend.
History became legend.
History became legend. Legend became myth. History became legend. Legend became myth.
History became legend. History became legend. Legend became myth. Airy on that. Legend became myth.
Legend became myth.
Legend became myth. Legend became myth. Yeah, I'll learn that. And for 2,500 years, the book passed out of all knowledge. Starting to get tired now. Right.
And for two and a half.
And for 2,500 years. And for 2,500 years, the book passed out of all knowledge. So for 2,500, emphasize the thousand, and for 2,500 years, the book passed out of all knowledge. All knowledge.
And for 2,500 years, the ring passed out of all knowledge.
Of all knowledge. And for 2,500 years, the book passed out of all knowledge. And for 2,500 years, the book passed out of all knowledge.
And for 2,500 years, the ring passed out of all knowledge.
All knowledge. Very factual at the end there. And for 2,500 years, the book passed out of all knowledge. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And for 2,500 years, the book passed out of all knowledge. Until, no, get off you.
Until.
Until. Until. Until. Until. Until.
Till.
Oh.
Until.
Until. Gotta say things weird. Until. Until? Less teal here, please. Okay, where are we? Until. Fuck. Right. Until. When chance came, it instead a new bearer.
When chance came.
When chance came.
Chance came.
When chance came.
Till. When chance came.
When chance came. When chance came. When chance came. When chance came. When chance came.
When chance came.
When chance came. Close enough.
It ensnared a new bearer.
It ensnared a new bearer. So she kind of stays on the same tone. It ensnares a new bearer. It ensnares a new bearer. It ensnared a new bearer. It ensnared a new bearer.
It ensnared a new bearer.
Almost. It ensnared a new bearer. 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 So weird when you think of it in tones. It ensnared a new bearer. Well, I don't like that. So, it ensnared a new bearer. It ensnared... It ensnared a new bearer. Right. It ensnared a new bearer. It ensnared a new bearer. I think that's a bit better. I'm going too much. It ensnared a new bearer. Yeah, I'll do with that. It ensnared a wheelbarrow. I don't know why that came to it. The ring came to the... Right, okay. I'm going mad now. This is driving me insane. And I'm getting quite hot by the looks of it. Oh, fuck me. I'm nearly done with this. The ring came to the creature idol, who took it deep into the tunnels of the misty spreadsheets. Fucking love that. Oh, I don't think I can do a good volume. No, I can't do that. I'll leave it as Gollum's voice then.
The ring came to the creature Gollum.
The ring came to the creature idol.
Who took... The ring came to the creature idol.
The ring came to the creature idol. The ring came to the creature idol. The ring came to the creature idol. That's nice.
The ring came to the creature Gollum, who took it deep into the tunnels of the misty mountain. Who took it deep into the tunnels of the misty mountain. Who took it deep into the tunnels of the misty spreadsheets.
Okay, so emphasize the deep. Who took it deep? Who took it deep? Who took it deep? Who took it deep into the tunnels of the misty spreadsheets? Who took it deep into the tunnels of the misty spreadsheets? Always taking it deep. No, wrong window. There we are.
The ring came to the creature Gollum, who took it deep into the tunnels of the misty mountains.
That's nice. Get a bit breathy at the end. Who took it deep into the tunnels of the misty spreadsheets? Oh, I don't mind. I'll get a little bit breathy there. That's fine. And there it consumed him, as they do.
And there...
And there...
It consumed him.
And there... And there...
And there...
And there... And there
it consumed him.
And there, and there, and there, and there, it consumed him. And there, it consumed him. Nice, 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 nice. Oh boy, this is going to be fun to edit.
And there, it consumed him.
My precious. I used to be able to do a really good Gollum voice, and I've lost it in somehow.
The ring brought to Gollum unnatural long life.
The book brought to Idle unnatural long voyages.
The
The ring brought to Idle unnatural. The ring brought to Idle unnatural long voyages. Okay, I should record that. The book brought The book brought to Idle unnatural long voyages.
The ring brought to Gollum unnatural long life.
The book brought to Idle unnatural... Yeah. The book brought to Idle unnatural long voyages. That's better. The book brought to Idle unnatural long voyages. Nice.
The ring brought to Gollum unnatural long life. For 500 years it poisoned his mind.
For 500 years it poisoned his mind. For 500 years it poisoned his mind. Poisoned his mind. Okay.
500 years it poisoned his mind.
Poisoned his mind. For 500 years it poisoned his mind. Yeah, that's a bit better. For 500 years it poisoned his mind.
And in the gloom of Gollum's cave.
And in the gloom of Idle's man cave. And in the gloom of Idle's man cave. And in the gloom of Idle's man cave. Don't know if that's two.
And in the gloom of Gollum's cave.
That'll do.
It waited.
It waited. It waited. It waited. Okay.
It waited. Darkness crept back into the forest of the world.
Right, okay. Okay. Oh, not far. We're nearly there. We're nearly there. I'll just put a smudge on my glass. That's going to annoy me now. Ah! I'm bashing my microphone. Oh. Okay, right. Darkness crept back into the forest of the world.
Darkness crept back into the forest of the world.
Darkness crept back into the forests of the world.
Darkness crept back into the forest of the world.
Darkness crept back into the forests of the world. Darkness crept back into the forests of the world. Forest of the world. Try not to be so twatty about it. Darkness crept back into the forests of the world. Darkness crept back into the... Not a voice actor. Darkness crept back into the forests of the world. That's not bad.
Darkness crept back into the forest of the world. Rumour grew of a shadow in the east.
Oh, she whispers shadow. That's lovely.
Rumour grew of a shadow in the east.
Rumour grew of a shadow in the east, but not quite that illicit.
Rumour grew of a shadow.
Rumour grew of a shadow in the east. That's not bad. Rumour grew of a shadow in... That shadow's gonna fuck me over. Rumour grew... Rumour grew... Rumour... Rumour grew of a shadow in the east. That's not bad. Rumour grew of a shadow in the east. That's not bad.
East. Rumour grew of a shadow in the east. Whispers of a nameless fear.
Whispers of a nameless fear. Yeah, that's not bad. Hold on. Whispers of a nameless fear. Whispers of a nameless fear.
Whispers of a nameless fear.
Yeah.
And the ring of power perceived.
Oh my god, we're saying this is a nameless fear and they've got no name namer. Okay, anyway, carry on.
And the ring of power perceived.
And the big book of behold advice perceived. And the big book of behold advice perceived. And the big book of behold advice perceived. And the big book of behold advice perceived. I don't like those ups and downs. And the big book of behold advice perceived. And the big... And the big book of... Peter Piper picked pickle peppers. And the big book of behold advice perceived. And the big book of behold advice perceived. Why do you have to have a name as such a difficult resource?
Its time had now come.
Its time had now come. Its time had now come.
Its time had now come.
Well, maybe. Its time had now come. Come. Such a child. Ooh. It abandoned idol. We're nearly there.
It abandoned Gollum. It abandoned Gollum.
It abandoned idol. It abandoned idol. It abandoned idol. It abandoned idol. But something happened that the big book did not intend. But something happened then the book did not intend.
But something happened then.
But something happened then.
But something happened then the ring did not intend.
But something happened then the book did not intend. But something happened then the book did not intend. It's almost like poetry, it rhymes. But something happened then the big... But something happened then the book did not intend. But something happened then the book did not intend. I like that, it's literally so...
But something happened then the ring did not intend.
Almost like his little fairy tale, but da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It was picked up by the most unlikely creature imaginable.
It was picked up by the most unlikely...
It was picked up. It was picked up by the most unlikely creature imaginable. It was picked up by the most unlikely creature imaginable. It was picked up by the most unlikely creature imaginable. Imaginable or imaginable? Imaginable. I don't like my way I said that at all. It was picked up. What did I do here? Tintend. It was picked up. It was picked up by the most unlikely creature imaginable. It was picked up by the most unlikely creature imaginable.
A hobbit.
A hobbit. A hobbit. A hobbit.
A hobbit.
A hobbit. A hobbit. Okay. 2 more lines left and we're done.
Bilbo Baggins of the Shire.
No name namer of the Shire. No name namer of the Shire.
Bilbo Baggins of the Shire.
I don't know how I'm going to do that bit.
For the time will soon come.
For the time will soon come.
For the time will soon come. When
hobbits
will shape the...
For the time will soon come. For the time will soon come. For the time will soon come.
When hobbits...
When hobbits... When hobbits... For the time will soon come. When hobbits... Hobbits... Oh, I don't know if hobbits... Yeah, I'm doing the bees as best I can there.
Will shape the fortunes of all.
Will shape the tears of all. Will shape the tears of all. Will shape the tears of all. Will shape the tears of all. Perfect. Right. Bonza, we're done. I've got to do some Gollum stuff, but I will do that later. Thanks for watching. Hey, if you sat through all of this, that's how it's done. Adios.